Hey, what up, guys? It's Julia Vamps Speaker, and who we got in the building today?
Yo, guys, I go by the name of Zandra Kaye.
That's what's up. And you're an R&B singer from what part of Brooklyn? Because I've actually never heard of it before.
Oh, I grew up in Mill Basin.
Where is that?
That's basically like I live right by like Ralph Avenue, so it's kind of like Kings Plaza Mall, you know?
Nah, I ain't gonna lie to you.
I am like the mayor of Kings Plaza.
Okay.
And like I'm like the queen of Queens. Like I could basically live in Queens if I want to. It's like right by the Brooklyn Queens Bridge.
Okay.
So I'm like bus country.
I got you. So if I mention your name, can I get a discount? That's the main thing.
Yeah, like walk up to any store in Kings Plaza and I got you.
She said Zandra Kaye sent you. Get that 50% off.
Exactly. The Jimmy Jazz.
Jimmy Jazz. I haven't been in that store in years, but so I know you get this a lot. Obviously, you have to get this a lot. You sound almost identical to Amy Winehouse. So what were you listening to when you grew up that influenced your sound today?
Yeah, so I listened to like a lot of jazz and blues when I was growing up. My grandfather like loved jazz and my sister loved jazz, and I listened to like a lot of like Billie Holiday and like Ella Fitzgerald, Etta James, Donna Summer, right? Just to get contemporary. Like I love Miss Summers, the queen of everything, right. And yeah, like definitely those types of musicians. Like when other people were listening to like potentially Britney Spears, I was kind of listening to Ella in my CD player on the back of the bus, trying to like make sure it didn't skip.
Yeah,
and, like,
exactly.
You gotta hold it to the side, and like that's like I was making like CDs, you know, with like Michael Jackson and stuff like that. So yeah,
definitely. So both you and your sister are actually singers. So
yes.
When did you guys actually realize you both had gifts?
I kind of was always like singing before I was speaking. She's older than me, so she was always really into music. And we used to stand in the front of the house every time we had family over or whatever. We would do like talent show at the end of every like family holiday.
Oh, so y'all did that black thing?
Yeah, we would all stand in the doorway. Yep. We would stand up in the doorway and do like lots of different numbers. And I went through like a musical theater stage, which was funny. I did theater. I did theater. Like I almost went to college for it, and then like last minute I didn't do it. I did something else. But so yeah, we were always just performing, and we're like silly, super funny, and we always like make up our own songs. Like my mom, for instance, she had a song for everything. So I think that has a lot to do with it, because I was like, I'm the youngest of 3, and so my siblings were kind of like off into the world, and my mom was like, you know, taking my brother to like softball, my sister to like
sing or no?
dance class. My brother has a good voice, but he's a writer.
Okay.
Yeah, he's he lives in LA, so he's a writer. And yeah, we're all really creative, but like my mom would be like singing to me like bye bye in the car. Bye bye in the car. We are going like bye bye in the car, and
you guys would just sing back.
Yeah, and then my first word was like car. So
not mama, not dad, car.
No, it was literally car. So yeah, we were like always just kind of like one-upping each other and like jumping around, being super silly, funny, like family video type vibe.
America's Most Funniest Videos.
Yeah, exactly.
So you just obviously dropped your project a couple of months ago, Zeefunk. So what was the conceptually, what was the process like for you?
So with that project, it's actually like my freshman album. And it started out like really simple, where it was just me catching a vibe. So that was produced entirely by Wi-Fi OG DJ Prince, and I kind of met him like I told you. I went to school for film, so when I first got back to New York, when I was like living away, I got like a freelance gig working on a music video for Roseville Music Group. At the time, one of their artists had a music video doing, and I was just doing PA work. And Prince was like working there. He had many hats on, and he was doing kind of like everything, DJing, A&R. And we were talking about the concept of the video, and then we were like kind of smoking, chilling, and I got to talking. Yeah, I do music too. Like I had 2 like random singles that I had come out with that weren't, anything crazy. And then I played it for him. And he was like, whoa, like I want to work with you, like regardless of whatever happens here, like let's work. And so we ended up, just clicking on that like mind to mind thing. And like over like 2 weeks, I was just freestyling in the apartment. We had a mic set up. It wasn't like a studio session. It was just a microphone in the apartment, and we would just smoke a ton of J's, and he would play a beat, and I'd be like, oh, ooh, okay. And he would always kind of like be like, go ahead, Z, like go on the microphone, don't write anything down, just catch a feeling. And like, honestly, that's how a lot of those songs came to be, where it was really just me being like riding the song, riding the wave. And then he'd be like, oh, that sounds good. Now think of a better, like think of some real lyrics like that. It's not just like oohs and ahs, like kind of in that way. So I would sit down and kind of write a little couple of things and then kind of punch in and punch out. And that's really how that album came to be. The first half of it was recorded, and then we took like a break for about like another like 3-4 months. And then I went back, and actually Sorry Not Sorry was the first song we ever recorded. And that was all basically like in 2016. So I had done all of those tracks and then kind of put them in the pocket and like shelved them for like a really long time. And we went a few different rounds and we created about like 12 tracks, and then I think only like 10 made it to the album. So.
Oh, awesome. So let's get into your lead single since you mentioned it, Sorry Not Sorry. Yeah. Let's break down that full song for your fans.
Yeah, so Sorry Not Sorry, like I said, it was a freestyle. And
oh, no way, really?
Yeah, it was a freestyle, and I remember hearing that beat, and that was the first, like I said, that was the first song we ever did, and we hadn't really like known each other that well.
Right. And that's a strong single, by the way.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And like he played that beat, and I remember being like, ooh, oh, and like sometimes my ideas are floating in the back of my brain for like a really long time. So with that, like, I think I wrote the lyrics, like I had just like gotten out of some like with like this dude, and I was feeling all like melodramatic, and I used to work at a thrift store for like a really long time in Williamsburg. And I remember like sitting and just like writing how I was feeling. So there was no beat or anything, but I remember, like penning the lyrics like, you gotta tell me what to do, cause I'm the one that's holding on, falling too short for you. And like just like writing that. And then like 2 days later, I like went to the studio, I went to the apartment, and I heard that beat, and I was like, I have something for this. And then that's how it came in. And like really the meaning behind that song is just, be yourself, and don't feel like you have to be somebody else for someone else. Like if if it's not working, then it sucks, but you'll be okay. Cause you want somebody who's gonna eventually just accept you for you, and like flaws and all, like nobody's perfect. And I think there's a line in there for me. One of my favorite line is like about not falling to the stigma, like just because I'm not what you want me to be doesn't mean that I'm wrong. And
the second, third verse?
Yeah, like that. Yeah, it's like in the first verse. And then like just the idea of like I'm going crazy, that I'm still your lady. Like I'm living crazy, like I'm still your lady, and I know I'm not. Like like
you're
just
a psycho.
Like I'm just like nobody talk to me, I'm taken. But it's like literally just I'm not taken. Like nobody wants to claim me, so it's like moody as but yeah, it's like that's really what the song, and it's about feeling empowered by that, and being like, I don't need to be with anyone. And so I'm sorry, I'm not sorry, because I flirt with everybody.
You're dangerous, that's the problem.
So that's that song. Whoop.
So let's break down the video for Sorry Not Sorry, because you had a couple of hip hop, vintage hip hop vibes in there, a little bit 90s. So let's break it down for your fans.
And so the runner of that is so the whole thing is that I'm sleeping on the couch. The actual, like, it's kind of like a dream that is the video happening, is it not happening? And I shot it in like one of my best friend's house in Chelsea, and it was like the runner, because my friends always tease me and joke around, like if I'm tired, like at a party, like I'll just go to sleep. Like if I'm just like not having it, like if I smoke too much or I'm drunk or whatever, like I'll just take a nap on the couch, and which is like not always the safest, but like I don't just do that.
Sounds like an episode of SVU.
I'm not like at like a club, like I'm not like at like Poison Rouge or something. And I'm over this. I'll just take a nap. No. I'm saying like if I'm like at my friend's house or just like at a house party, it's intimate. I know everybody.
Okay.
Nobody's gonna like draw on my face. Like I just take a nap. And so that's kind of what I wanted to like bring to that video is just that, you know, this is me, this is who I am. Like I'm sleeping at the video and then within me sleeping at the video, like, there's like slow motion and I'm like looking like super flossy and the wind is catching my hair and I'm like, oh, I'm singing to you. But then there's also like emotion to it where I'm outside on the street and that's very much me. Like like I said, I grew up in a small neighborhood in Brooklyn, so I don't live super close to the train. I'm a bus person. I take the bus and the train on a regular basis and I'm always moving. I'm always grooving. And that's really what I wanted for the video, to just kind of be like, you know, there's the dream version of yourself. Then there's like the real version of yourself, where it's like when I'm out in the street, like I still look like I still have my swag, like I still have my Brooklyn, like, you know, I'm wearing pastels and I'm wearing pink pants, which is like very typical me. But then it's also very like I look real, like I'm wearing glasses and, you know, stuff like that. So that's really what I wanted for the video. I just wanted people to get a little slice of like my life and being like as authentic as I can be, you know, because I do like to sleep at parties. And then it ends where it's like somebody's passing, Jules is passing, you know, a joint over me. And that's when I'm like, I'm awake. Give me that. And then that's how it ends. Because that's like usually how it ends.
Real life, real stuff.
Like, don't you smoke without me. Like, wake me up. But yeah. So that's that video.
So what type of, I guess, artist do you consider yourself to be before anything? Like what genre would you throw yourself in?
Yeah, like I definitely, what you said, like R&B. Some of my friends who don't like necessarily aren't like in the schisma of music are like, you're a rapper. And I'm like, I don't know. No, kind of, but not really. Like I do have some like obviously like hip hop elements to my sound where I do like to do word spit and I like to talk kind of quick. But I definitely feel like I'm an R&B artist, a singer, and like, you know, when I was in college, I was in a funk band, so that definitely kind of like flows through for me. So just like rhythm blues, like soul, those are my places that I feel comfortable in. Anything else, you know, with the little label, I'm like hip hop and R&B, because it's like we're trying to get the right people to pay attention. But I would definitely say like I'm just a singer, and anything I do within that space is just blanketed R&B. Yeah.
Awesome, perfect. Yeah. So, what do you think about Young M.A.'s comments regarding R&B basically not being prevalent right now?
I don't know, because like it's just hard, because I think we live in a time right now where music is just blended together, and like everything is everything. There's really not, it's not, you know, like hip hop isn't what it was like in the 80s and the 90s when it was conceptualized. It's very different now. And if you really wanted to get technical, most of the music that we're listening to right now is electronic. It's, you know, like people are relying heavily on these producers. We're relying on samples, which is, you know, very 90s, but we're relying on these kits and these different sounds. So it's just like to say, oh, R&B is not really prevalent. That's not true, because then, you know, you have artists that are like Bryson Tiller, who's like a rapper, but he's so R&B. Like he gets me in my feels. I love, that's like one of the new artists that I love. I love, you know, Black and like Bryson Tiller. Those are my two people that I'm always listening to. And like Anderson .Paak, like
he's really good.
He's my favorite. Like he's hands down just like super inspiring, and he's a real musician. And that's what I love about him more than anyone, because it's like sometimes I'm kind of like dueling with these people, because I'm just like, well, okay, Young M.A.
I like that word.
Young M.A., like, are you like in the studio like playing the piano and then cutting the piano and then like getting the kits together? No, you're not. So it's just kind of hard for you to say, oh, this isn't really relevant anymore, because it's like you have a lane that's dope, my friend. Like stick to it. Like I'm happy you're successful, but like don't kind of knock stuff that you don't really understand, because there's just so much to it. It's super deep, and you know, music isn't just one way, and I think that's like where we're at right now. And that's definitely how, when I create, I don't want to be like just one way. Like I want to be, you know, all over the place.
I hear that for sure. So when someone is listening to your music, what do you want them to take away from your sound and what you're saying?
I really try to empower everyone. I'm all about like feeling really good. Obviously I'm female, so I'm all about women's empowerment. But also, you know, like on a androgynous scale, like I feel like I want everybody to just be able to like put themselves into what I'm saying and not feel like it's just my story. Like it could be their story as well. And like, especially like I have a track called Know Your Role, and I tease that in Sorry Not Sorry. Where I'm like in the hot tub and I'm like wearing this like hoodie, and I'm wearing like it's a Supreme like Picasso Weeping Woman, which is my favorite painting. And it's like this woman who's like looks horrified and she's just crying and like looks like just completely freaked out by everything. And I kind of relate to her because it's just like there's so much going on all the time. And, you know, as women, we need to be like, we're always kind of like, we're always something. Like everyone wants us to be something. We're always stigmatized and like objectified and whatever like that. And especially with that song and the album, you know, it's all about just feeling good and like not feeling like the pressure of being something that you're not just because people want you to be. And like not, if you're a woman, like you don't have to be like overly sexy to be successful. And like I think sometimes and just like today and always forever, I mean, like you look at Madonna, I mean, she's sexy. And like that's how she became Madonna. I mean, she was selling like that, and like there's nothing wrong with that.
Sex on a platter.
Yeah, sex on a platter. Right. $3.99 no buffet. But that's like literally just for me and my music. Like I feel like, you know, if I want to be like super feminine one day and like, be like really like girly, then I can. But if I want to be kind of like on to the left with my like masculine energy where like sometimes I just feel like wearing everything oversized. And like I love sneakers. Like that's just for me. I grew up in Brooklyn. Like not everyone's like that. Like I have a crazy sneaker collection and I love like where I like always go to the thrift store and the first section I go to is the men's side, and then they're all pissed because I get all the best stuff and they're like what's this shit doing? But so yeah, so that's like really with my music. I just want people to feel good being themselves. And I hope that they can implement that within their daily lives. And, you know, I try to create music that's like when you first hear it, you're like, whoa, I can't do anything. I have to stop. I have to listen to this. There's like a serious message behind this of like feeling good. But then at the same time, I want people to, you know, kind of let it be in the background. Like I hope that I'm making music that people could drive in their car to and like have conversations with their people or just like be in the subway and like be thinking about yourself, but like letting that be like kind of like the drown out. So that, you know, like get deep, but not too deep.
I feel it. I dig it. I definitely dig it. So this is my favorite part of the show. It's called 5 Fast Facts.
Oh, okay.
Drop some gems about yourself that you want your fans to know that they don't already know.
Okay. 5 fast facts.
You gotta be quick. Be
fast. Okay.
Quick.
Number 1, I'm super blind. I can't see. I usually wear glasses and they're super thick, and right now I'm wearing contacts.
I peeped that.
And so I'm always like squinting at people because I can't see them, and they're like, what is her problem? And I'm always like, who is that? Is that John? Oh, hey. Like, I don't know who you are. So I'm sorry about that. And like, I have been known to like wear my contacts for my shows, and then I've had to like rip them out of my eye like before I go on stage and like throw them on the ground and be like, I can't wear them anymore. So I've performed like blind. I'm always like, y'all look great, but I can't see you. So it's just like,
you be lying.
Yeah, that's a fun, fast fact.
2. What we get for 2?
Okay, we're on 2 for 2. I have a crazy rock collection. I love crystals and gems and like all that
I thought you
stuff.
meant like rocks.
Yeah, rocks. No, sometimes honestly, like if I go to like somewhere with like a lake or whatever, like I take a rock, like a water rock. Like I'm very like that. I like to like gather stuff. And yeah, I always have like a crystal. You know, I keep that damn thing on me. I actually have one like in my pocket right now. This is an amethyst. This is like for good vibes and just like connection and just feeling clean. And I'm like known to give people crystals. Like I always have something in my pocket. And if I feel like somebody I know, like, yeah, like here you go. Like you need that. No, seriously, keep it. Cause
you're not getting it back.
Cause, you know, you never know. Like some people really need it and they don't know a lot.
Do you want it back?
No, you can hold on to that. That's for you. That's for you. You saw it here. I'm not a liar. Yeah, like I give people crystals all the time if I feel like they need it, and some people just
That's
don't.
Like a backhanded insult.
Yeah, you really need this. You need this. You need to open up your love receptors. No, but not always, but sometimes they don't know what it is and whatever. I always give that for a gift. And then third fun fact. I studied film in college and I love cinema. And then I'm like super serious about it where like I watch The Sopranos like once a year every year.
No way.
Yeah, like it's bad. Like and like I love like True Detective, season 1 with Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson. Those are like top two like shows of my life. And then I also am like a huge nerd and I love like Lord of the Rings and like Star Wars and all that type of like lame but amazing stuff. It's not lame. I think it's amazing, but some people like to, you know, make fun of it. It's a popular show. But movies. Yeah, like I like escapism. So that's my third fact. My fourth fact is that I am a homebody. I really don't ever want to leave the house. And I'm
glad you came out the house today.
Yeah, thank you. I like to chill. I'm like, I would rather be like chilling with like my three friends in the crib smoking than, you know, at a club and whatever. And I know it's important.
And sleeping on couches and house parties.
Yeah, exactly. Like even when I'm out, I'm like not really out. But and yeah, so I'm a homebody. What is that, 4?
4,
so
I have 5.
I have 5. I need one more fun fact that's fast.
More. Yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be the hardest one. Yeah, like I said, I'm from Brooklyn, but I'm like 3rd generation Brooklyn. My mom was born here. My dad was born here. My mom's parents were born here. Like her dad came in like 1917. So I'm like super duper Brooklyn. Nobody's more Brooklyn than me. I don't care what you say.
That's a fact.
We're 3rd generation here.
She said, "No, we really been here.
Like we do this. Yeah, it's not a joke. Like my grandfather was like newsy in the Bronx. Like,
oh wow.
Like you ever saw the movie? Like, look at me, I'm the king of New York. Like that's like my grandfather. He's like, whoo, swinging those papes.
Everybody knows him.
Yeah. And then my other grandfather was like a word press. He used to like lay the words down on the paper. So it's like we're like really authentically
You're probably somewhere
Brooklyn.
In the history books. Definitely.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, my mom literally sounds like, "What are you doing?" Like,
oh God, she does. We need her on the show next.
Not too much, but yeah, sometimes when she gets mad at me, that's what she sounds like.
A real Brooklyn person.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's me. That's Z.
I appreciate it. Well, thank you so much for dropping by on the show. I'm Julie Vamps.
Zandra Kaye.
Thank you guys so much for watching and listening.